let's just start with your career. Give us whatever you want to give us before coming here, but then I'll just ask you a bunch of questions and kind of get some things out of you that I think will be really cool for people to hear. So, just give me the 101, Talolo Limu-Jones.
Okay, so as far as like high school went,
Yeah,
I was just,
do whatever you want to do, yeah.
I'd say, so like as far as high school went, I just pretty much just played off of like pure talent. That kind of carried me to where I am today, like as far as getting me to Eastern and, you know, possibly playing in, you know, at the highest level of football. So I would say that the only thing I used to do would just be like practices. I would just go to practice. I wouldn't do anything outside of what like practice. I always did the minimum. And that's how I kind of like based my career off of until now, I guess. But to start off, I feel like I just did just what was like required. And I guess I would say that it is like a journey to get to where I am as just like the person that I am today, like outside of sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say that I didn't, you know, early on I didn't look myself in the mirror and just keep it real with, you know, the person that's in the mirror. I felt like that's like one of the hardest things to do, and I didn't start doing that until like I was probably like 4 years into college already. So as far as like high school went, I did just what was required. I didn't do nothing outside of, you know, basketball practice, football practice, whatever it is. I remember Coach Matt coming from Eastern to come down there. He promoted Eastern really well. So, you know, my junior year of high school, that's when I started getting like notoriety, I guess, like where people start really knowing kind of who I am. And when Coach Matt came through, he promoted Eastern really well. So when my senior year came and they offered me, you know, Eastern was just at the top of my list. I had other offers from Big Sky schools, but I didn't even know what the Big Sky Conference was. Like as far as like it went, I'm the first generation grad out of, you know, my family. So as far as like colleges went, I didn't really know too much.
Yeah.
Like, you know of like a bunch of Pac-12, SEC teams, but as far as like Eastern went, I really didn't know too much.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So talk me through coming in your freshman year as a tight end and being around, you know, some of those guys. Like 2016 was a crazy year. Just talk about a little bit about like your little time spent with KB and Coop and all those guys that were here.
Okay, so I met what I want to say Simba was my host. So Simba, Webster, the twins. I actually got hosted by the twins, Zeus and Simba. They hosted me and they brought me around like the right people. I met KB and Shaq. I met them on my recruiting trip. I met Coop as well, but as far as like the guys that I was like, okay, these are the dudes that, you know, I want to be around and hang out with outside of sports, that was KB and Shaq, and that's what like the twins brought me around. So as far as like coming in as a tight end, I played receiver in high school, so that was kind of like me taking the risk of, you know, what I want to do. I would say that the other offers that I had got from other Big Sky schools, they all was, besides Weber wanted me to play outside linebacker, but as far as like offensive wise goes, the rest of like the school that did offer me, it was for receiver. You know, so like coming here, I took a chance on myself. Well, not really myself. I took a chance with what they told me. See what I'm saying? And I'd never played tight end a day in my life. You know, I was a receiver, but so like as far as being a tight end, you know, you have to block and do all that. So as far as coming in 2016, I redshirted. I was around great talent, like you said, Coop, KB, Shaq, Simba, Splendo was here. We had, you know, the offense was loaded, I would say. So like as far as being around those guys and, you know, seeing what they did my freshman year, it was like, you know, as a young dude, seeing what they're doing as seniors, it was like, you know, you kind of want to be like them in a way, like, because, you know, everybody's not going to be as talented or, you know, or as athletic as certain people. Caught myself, but as far as like certain people, like, you know, Shaq was really fast and he had wiggle, but KB was super athletic, and then Coop was technical. So like you have a different variety of what it is. Like Simba was super fast, so like you have different kind of things. So you can't, like, I can't look at, you know, a Shaq Hill or a Simba Webster and be like, okay, I want to be them, because as far as speed go, it's not there. See what I'm saying? So their speed was a different level. So as far as like mimicking certain stuff that they did, or doing certain stuff they do, it just you want to just try to pick up what you can pick up. See what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna be able to pick up everything that somebody's gonna be able to do, but it's the things that like, okay, his come to bounce release, or his how he runs the route, or at the top of the route how he gets in and out of it. Like you would want to kind of pick that up, but as far as like seeing Coop outside of pads, you wouldn't think that that's Coop type. So, but in the pads and actually seeing like on my recruiting visit, I remember them saying like, okay, this is the best receiver. So like when I got to be around him at like practice and stuff, you could see like he's clearly gonna be the best just because of how like he approaches like a pro, and when he's already in college, and you see what he's doing now at the pro level. So that like it shocked a lot of people what he do now, but he did he was doing it here. So as far as like that go, but being around those guys is just like you will want to bring the best out of yourself, because those guys they're gonna push you. Like you're not gonna want to. You're not gonna want to like disappoint them in a way. Like I don't know. I really don't know how to like explain it, but as far as like just like the accountability level was there. Like you didn't want to. Like I'd be nervous sometimes. I go out there and if I mess up, I know they watching, or whatever it is. So as far as like just being around those dudes, like you just know like there's certain things, just certain ways that they all approached it, like certain ways that like they like I don't know. I feel like they made me comfortable to make me be my they made me be be myself. Like KB would come in with all the swag, or do whatever for pregame. So like okay, if he doing it, then I don't gotta hold back. Like in terms of KB used to wear wild. Like he used to come in designer belt. Like he used to have it all. Like so as far as like that go, or like I used to always hang out with Shaq outside of like the facility. I used to always go to Shaq's house. So as far as like being around those guys, like just like their energy, like they vibe, they just had something about them like that you would wanna, I would say like be around, or like certain things they did, you would wanna not copy them, but you would wanna be like not fit in, but I really don't know how to explain it, but like it's just that like that kind of vibe that they had. They all had like a different kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's crazy, because even as you're saying that, it sounds like you're describing you as a senior, but you're unaware of that. That's how everyone looked at you, right? So it's crazy that you grew into that. No surprise though. Talk a little bit about, because we talked about this before, like talk about how you didn't like it your freshman year, because everyone sees All-American, pro football player, but like it wasn't all cupcakes and rainbows when you got here.
Nah, no way. So like I said, when I was in high school, I played receiver. Coming here, they tell you I was gonna be a tight end. Coach B and them leaves. Coach Best comes in charge. So like the dreams and everything that Coach B and those guys like gave me, I knew that once they left, that that's out the window. So as far as like not wanting to be here, even when they was here, like my redshirt freshman year when I was playing tight end, I just didn't like just that position. Like, but I feel like a little bit of it was an immaturity thing, like of me like wanting to be a receiver and complain, really complaining outside of like the facility, just like complaining about, I'll say, I want to be a receiver. I want to be a receiver instead of just attacking the day. I felt like early on that I did a lot of like.
Go for it.
So like I felt like I did like a lot of early on in terms of like not accepting my role. I felt like I was entitled in a way, because I'm a little 18-year-old out of high school, and I played receiver, and I came here and I wanted to be a receiver. They had Coach Nick as the coach, and then you have those guys that we talked about, and I was in the tight end room, and personally I just didn't like it, because I felt like I didn't fit in, just that, like for that position. I didn't like to block. So I'm like, all tight ends do is they block a lot. So as far as like blocking and went, like the stuff that I didn't want to do, I was having to do it. I had to go against like, I remember my freshman year, I had to go against like Samson. Imagine going against Samson every day. Wake up to know that, when you put on pads, bro, and you go to scout, you gotta go on scout team, and even on scout team, I used to beg, can I play receiver? No, you're a tight end, you're gonna play tight end. So like, I remember one time Sammy like lifted me off my feet and threw me on the floor. So crazy. Great Samson. Crazy. So, like, imagine being an 18-year-old, fresh out of high school. You never played tight end before. You have to go against him every day. Like, that is something that I didn't like because I personally didn't like the position. I would probably say that I was depressed a lot, not noticing that I was depressed though, you know. But I felt like, you know, looking back on it now, I felt like I kind of was like depressed because I was doing a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do. But I would say when 2017 rolled around and I actually started playing a little bit and they had like low personnel and I knew that I wasn't going in to block at all. I knew that I was going to go play receiver pretty much, but at the tight end position. So as far as like early on go, I definitely did not like it. Like I definitely loved everybody around and I loved everybody here. But as far as like, all right, I'm going to the meeting room to see, okay, that we've got to watch film of me not blocking, you know, me trying to do it, but I can't do it. Like, don't get it wrong, I didn't back down to like the challenge, but as far as like knowing my role or knowing what I could have did, because when I came here and I seen that I had to do a lot of tight end stuff, I think back of the other offers. You know, Sac State came to my house. You know, you're a true ad receiver. I know that they offered you a tight end, but we're gonna play you at receiver. I turned them down because of, you know, the success Eastern had and how they promoted, you know, just how they promoted it was different. So as far as like early on goes, I feel like it was like an ego thing for me. I felt like once I let my ego go, 2017 rolling around, I let my ego go, I played. And I was willing to block and I was willing to do a lot of stuff that early on in 16 I wasn't willing to do. So as far as like that goes, that's what I'd probably say.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. So yeah, you kind of talked a little bit about it, but let's go like, so 2018 you transitioned to wide receiver, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. At what point in the year did you transition?
Okay, so 2017 we go to Cali. I have a great game. You know, I'm tight end. I have a great game, and I missed bed check. So that was something near like the end of the season. It was something near the end of the season, but I was hanging out with my family. I'm somebody from California it's a 13-hour drive, or I got to catch a flight to go back home just to be around family and see family. So as far as like being around, they say that, okay, if you're around in the summer, you're going to play. I stayed for 3 summers and I'm not playing. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm playing a little bit, but as far as like playing, I'm, you know, it's not there. So as far as like them transitioning to me over to receiver, I remember I was a tight end all the way up until like a week before camp. Hey, Lo.
Wow.
Yep. Hey, Lo, need you to come down to the office. We got to talk to you. Okay, cool. You know, a little nervous, not knowing what's going on. I don't know, because I used to get in trouble a lot. So I'm not knowing if I'm getting kicked off the team or whatever it is, because my history here wasn't too good in terms of missing class checks, in terms of not picking up my attendance card. So like the little stuff that turns into big stuff, that was like kind of what it was. But I do remember they said like, Lo, come down. I walk into the office and it is the OC and it is the position coach. Hey, Lo, come here, sit down. I sit down. What's going on? Everything cool? All right, well, you know, we feel like the best fit for you is to move you to receiver. And I'm shocked.
So you're playing in the USFL. What's the team you're on? Let everyone know so we can know where to watch and stuff.
Okay, USFL, I play for the Michigan Panthers. I think our first game is going to be April 17th.
Okay. So, and sorry, this just made me think of one more thing. So let me ask this question. Talk about your time with the Carolina Panthers and that kind of process of going there and seeing what, like, just give us a little bit of that experience.
I was super, super scared. You know, like being in college, you don't have to worry about, you know, coming back the next year or, you know, staying around for like half season, start the season, you know, whatever it is. So like, I just remember getting on the plane, flying out there, and I was super, super nervous because, you know, I don't know anybody going into a situation where I really don't know anybody. And I knew that it's a job, you know, it's not, you know, I would say it's not fun anymore. Well, it's still fun, but like as far as not having to worry about it, you know, you have to approach it like, okay, it's your job, you know. You being near is like I'm trying to steal somebody that they feed their family off of this. See what I'm saying? So like in terms of being in college, it was, you know, I didn't have to worry about I can mess up this year because I'm gonna come back next year.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to worry about having a spot secured in a way.
Yeah,
you know?
knowing scholarships.
No, yeah, like you're not gonna get your scholarship took in college. So, as far as like being up there, super nervous because y'all know at mini camp, I had to come in the morning. We're gonna meet, but then we're gonna have like a special team meeting, and then we're gonna have practice. So whatever you learn in your meeting, you have to apply it to the field. You see what I'm saying? So like as far as being like nervous and not really knowing what to do, I was out there. I felt like I wasn't able to play how I wanted to play because, you know, I'm not relaxed. I'm too tense. I'm, you know, super nervous because it was hard. It was hard to learn the plays. It was hard to learn like the formations and what to do and how to do it because, you know, now I'm not only thinking about the plays. I'm thinking about like, okay, what if I get let go, or, you know, you're not thinking about ball. You know, when I got up there, I wasn't thinking about straight ball. I was in my head. I felt like I was in my head too much. You know, on my way out, I started to really pick up the playbook. So like, being around those dudes, you can tell that is super business-like. Like certain, you know, the same thing as like college. The locker room is gonna be the locker room. Like it's gonna be lit. You know, certain people gonna be around certain people. So as far as like that go, I don't think that I ran into too many people that like had big egos there. You know, Christian McCaffrey, super cool dude. Sam was super cool. DJ was super cool. So like, as far as meeting those guys, it's just like, okay, I know that I could do this. You know, these are people that put on their pants the same way I put my pants on, tie their cleats and shoes the same way I tie my cleats and shoes. So as far as like being around those guys, I just knew that, okay, just because I see them on TV don't mean that I'm not gonna be able to do it. But you know, having a relationship with KB and talking to him when he went pro, you know, I kind of had like I remember he reached out to me actually and was like, you know, just treat it like Eastern when I signed or whatever, you know, just treat it like Eastern, you know, same thing you did there, just go do it there. So like, as far as like the confidence go, I felt like I had full confidence, but when I got up there and I'm coming off a knee injury or, you know, whatever it is, because I played through injuries here. So
yeah.
As far as like, it wasn't knee injury, I strained my hamstring. So like, I already was going up there like, okay, you know, I'm dealing with something, you know, I'm not 100%. So that's where the scare factor played a part because I was super nervous because, you know, on top of me being injured, I have to learn the plays. I am battling the spot with 4 other rookies. So my short time there, I felt like it helped me a lot because learning that playbook was one of the hardest things that I ever had to do because it's like super complex. It's super like detailed. So as far as like knowing what to do, how to line up, what to run. So like I messed up a couple times there. I go out there and I'm hearing the call wrong. I'm running what they run on the right. I'm running on the other side. You know, we have 2 of the same routes being ran, and you know, as far as like picking up that playbook, because like I feel like I'd be able to pick up a playbook and be able to learn and apply it faster just off the time of me being there. It was super. It was stressful, but it wasn't at the same time because, you know, like, you know, football at the end of the day. But that showed me that no matter how little time you got to learn like a playbook or whatever it is, or like I used to think that like I can't learn it. I'm not gonna be able to. I'm able to do it because, you know, the short time that I was there, I was able to pick up a lot and put it down. So as far as like my short time being there, I would say that it helped with knowing that I'd be able to learn something. So like when I got the Michigan Panthers playbook and having to pick up and the terminology, that's a lot. That's like places where you go, there's different ways how they're gonna teach it, and it's all about if you're gonna be able to learn it and apply it. So as far as like being there, that helped me believe in myself that I'll be able to, no matter how much time it is or whatever it is, that I'll be able to pick something up and apply it because I was there thinking that I couldn't do it to, you know, in a short amount of time to like, rookie mini camp is 3 days. So those 3 days they're putting so much stuff on you that you have to learn. So when OTAs came around, it's like, okay, that is easier. I do remember that. I do remember learning. So like as far as like instilling certain stuff into your brain, then I'll say that's what my short time being up there was like. Help me moving forward would be that I'm gonna be able to do it. Instead of looking at it, freaking out, because I'm a dude that I learn better on field. Like I hate looking at stuff on paper. Like it's hard for me to learn that way. But being up there, it helped me learn in the classroom stuff. Like okay, sit back. Okay, install one, whatever it is. I could look at it and be able to go out there and run it.
Yeah.
Instead of I can't do this. I only learn this way. It force you to learn more than just one way.
Yeah. What's one of the best pieces of advice or things that you've learned is a big question, like over your career? And one of them, I remember you telling me the story about you talking to Coop in the training room, but it just made me think about like there's probably so much you picked up on. What are some things that some heat you could drop that comes to mind?
Like you brought up Coop, okay, so I remember Coop was dealing with like a hamstring injury or something, and my freshman year I was dealing with like a concussion, so like we just happened to be walking down after practice or whatever it is. At the same time, we just happened to be walking down to the training room, and I don't know, I feel like Coop seen it in me before I seen it in me as far as like my success goes. One thing that I do remember him telling me is to always be myself no matter how my success go, to not pretty much have an ego in terms of when the success comes low, still be yourself in a way. I really don't remember the exact words he said to me, but it was along the lines like, always be yourself. Don't, just because you have success, don't change up in a way. Like don't be an asshole just because just because you think you're better than this person. Stay humble in a way. So like that'd be one thing that I would say that I took from Coop was, I was a super cocky player coming out of high school. In high school, I would say. So like coming here, it was like, especially hearing it from the best in the conference, the best FCS player to ever play. The best. What they say, he was like the best receiver. He probably, in my eyes, he's one of the top 3 receivers in the league to me. So like coming from a dude that Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl winner, that he told me early on, I felt like he's seen something that I didn't see in me. Like stay humble. Like in a way, because I was super cocky in high school. I would talk so much trash to somebody just because I knew that I was good or my success or whatever it is. And what I would say that I took from him was to stay humble, because there's somebody out there that's gonna work harder than you, or that's out there gonna try to outwork you. So that is something that I took from 16 and had to apply it from 16 to now. Is because in high school you go 4 years of I'm going 4 years of the same thing, not being humble, being cocky for 4 years straight. So as far as having to flip it around, it's like, you can, once he said it, that's coming from the best player on the team.
Yeah.
So, when he says something, it's like, okay, you better listen to it. He's going out his way to talk to you. So, like, I remember watching film with him, and he scores a touchdown. It's a bad rep low. And I'm sitting there confused. I'm sitting there like, but you scored. And he's like, it's not about that, though. So, like, as far as, like, detail and all, like the little things go, that's where, I'll say I got from Coop, because it's like that is somebody that has it, somebody that everybody knew had it, and so much publicity around him, and he stayed himself. He never had an ego, or never let his success, he's somebody that was a walk-on, I guess. I heard he was a walk-on, or this was probably his only offer, whatever it is, and you see where he at now. So as far as like that go, that's what I would say.
Yeah, super cool. So I ask everyone this question, but if you were gone and nothing was left, no accomplishments, none of your things, nothing, all that was left was 3 lessons or 3, whatever you want to call it. There's these 3 things you'll leave to your kids. What would those 3 things be?
I'll say one, to never back down to nobody, to know your worth. Like, never let somebody tell you that you can't do anything. That'd be one. Two would be appreciate your time with, everybody that you care about and want to be around, or, whatever it is, because, somebody could be gone, today, tomorrow, somebody that you wouldn't expect, paths would, go whenever, so I'll say my last one would probably be to always keep your head up, because everybody go through, it's life. Life is it's like a game, like always keep your head up, because you don't know. I battle demons and nobody will ever know it, because I always come around, I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I'm joking around. That's how I kind of like dealt with certain stuff early on, especially early on, like my college career. I dealt with I felt like I dealt with like depression and stuff, was to always just stay myself, smile, and because you never know what anybody go through. So like as far as like not wanting to like treat everybody how you want to be treated, I guess I'll say that's my last one. To treat everybody how you want to be treated, because you never know what's going through somebody's mind. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what happened if we get into an argument and I tell you, I don't care, or you say something and I tell you I don't care, do whatever you want. It won't bother me. Drop dead or something, off of anger, and they already was thinking about doing whatever to themselves, and they'll do it. So that would probably be mine.
Yeah.
That'd probably be like my three, because you really don't know what people go through. You really don't want to be the reason why they do whatever they do to themselves. So like I say, treat everybody how you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be like my three.
It's awesome. So, and this just question came up, and I was gonna ask you this too. Where does that come from? That I asked KB the same question, because you guys are kind of similar in that aspect. Like always, no, I mean not always. I've seen you angry, and obviously I've seen a lot, right? But like you always come around though, and you always come back to your baseline, which is like smiling, good time, love, right? Like fun time, love. Where does that come from, and how do you? Because that's hard for a lot of people to keep that beautiful state, that you're living in.
I would say that it came from growing up. Like I come from not a single parent home, but I come from my parents, and my parents split before I was born. So like having to adjust. I'm not coming home to my dad, and I'm coming home to my grandparents. My mom and them. So as far as like going to school, and I'm having to see like other kids with their parents and stuff, I really personally feel like it's from growing up, because like I used to love going to school all the time, just because I could be around people, and I used to be the class clown every year. I used to get in trouble every year, and it's the same thing, but I felt like it came from home, for me probably wanting my parents to be together, or whatever it is. You go on field trips, and their mom and dad's gonna chaperone. I'm not having no chaperones, like So as far as like that joy come from, it's like a self thing. Like I don't know. I don't really like to see people down. So like I'm myself. I'm goofy. I've always been like a class clown. So like as far as like me being myself, I think that's where it comes from. Just me not caring what the next person think. Me still want to be me, because I think I was just telling T-Mac it, like, or I think I was just telling Ed, or I don't know who I was just telling, but like when I told him when I get up there to Michigan and stuff, that I felt like when I went to Carolina I wasn't myself. I felt like I went up there and I tried to bottle everything and not be myself. But I would say going into the room that I'm going to, I am going fully me. Like, who Low is now, that's what I'm, that's what they're going to see. And I feel like it is I don't know, it has to be like a personal thing, or I don't know. Cause like, I don't know, I like to have fun. I like to I like to joke around, laugh. Like, even when I'm in trouble, I used to laugh. Like, even when I get in trouble, or parents yelling at me or whatever it is, like I used to smile when I know I'm not supposed to smile, and I know like, okay, you smile again, I'm gonna, I'm gonna whoop you or whatever. And I used to try to hold it in, because like, I don't know, it's just like it's just inside you. You know, like I like to have fun. I like to joke around. I don't know. That's just me though. You see what I'm saying? Like not everybody the same, cause like on game day I do the same thing.
Yeah.
On game day I'm the same way. While somebody's trying to get ready for a game, I'm over here playing around. But that's me. So I don't know. I feel like I got to a point where it's like you gonna have to accept me for me, no matter what it is. Cause like when Pat was in the room, I used to just laugh, and even when I'm in trouble, I used to smile and stuff. And it's like I could tell it's gonna make you mad, but that's how it's always been. Like every time I laugh, you know, my mom or my dad gonna be mad, or you know, whatever it is, but I still did it. Like, you know, I'm still gonna smile, but it's just something that's inside me. I guess that's where like that come from. Cause like you said, you see me mad, but as soon as I'm done being mad about whatever I'm mad about, I'm gonna go back to my original ways, and I'm gonna be joking around, laughing. But I always been that way though, so it's kind of hard because like you're somebody that you're gonna prepare. You're gonna have headphones on for the game. Like even if I have headphones on, as soon as I take them off, I'm gonna joke around. Like I don't know why, but that's just me. Like I'm gonna make you relaxed. Like I'm gonna make sure that, cause that's how I am. Like I'm relaxed, but once we get in between lines, it's like okay. Like you gotta know when to flip the switch. Like some people don't know when to flip the switch. Like you run into a couple dudes where it's like, okay, you don't know when to stop. Like, you know, so like as far as that go, I feel like it's that, cause like it's always been like that for me though. Like principal's office or whatever it is in elementary. I remember I kicked somebody in the nuts or something. He kneed me in my face or he kneed me in my ear or something. I told him we were gonna play like a little game, and I kicked him in his name. I'm in the principal's office and I'm smiling, I'm laughing, but like I don't know why. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm smiling at what I just did, but it just always, you know, it just always been there in terms of even like I said that I was depressed in 16 a little bit, but I still was smiling and laughing, you know, joking around, and I still like to be around people. So I feel like I'm a people person, and I feel like that.
Absolutely.
I feel like that because I'm so relaxed that I want you to be relaxed. Like I don't know, it's weird, but you know that just kind of how I am. Cause like I run into a lot of people that's super tense and trying to like be locked in. It's like, okay, bro, just relax a little bit. Like, you know, then I joke around, smile, but that's just, I guess that's just me. But like when I met KB the same way, it's like somebody that's goofy, funny, you know, like smiling all the time, and you don't even know what he's dealing with. He could be dealing with whatever, you know, but he gonna come around and he gonna be smiling, laughing, and joking, and that kind of made me like comfortable in a way when I got to college. Like, okay, if he doing it, then you know, then I'm just gonna be myself then. Yeah. So that's kind of where like that came from. So.
Yeah, cool. It's really cool. Okay, well, last question here, and before I ask you, I just want to say I appreciate you, bro. Everything that you've done for me.
Yes,
great senior for us.
Yes, sir.
And I'm hyped to see you ball out at UNE. So, and it's been awesome working out with you too. That's been really cool. And yes, Tracy did change you, and I wish that I could have changed you somehow. But
I wish I would have met Tracy early. Like I heard about him early on, and I knew of him early on. But like he knows. Like I tell him, like, he knows. But like he's the main reason why like you see me now. Like the old me, I don't know.
Well, I remember you left. I don't even know what you weren't. I was way stronger than you. Came back in like a month and a half, and I was like, this dude's stronger than me in a month and a half. What happened? But yeah, bro. Okay, so last question. The name of the podcast is the Make It Happen Podcast. So, what does it mean to you, Lo, to make it happen?
I'll say to me, to make it happen is to get up every day and do something that you want to do, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what's going on in your life, to just be yourself and to get up each and every day and make it happen. You know, like, for instance, I didn't like lifting. See what I'm saying? So when I trained for my pro day training, you lifting 6 days out the week. See what I'm saying? I had to keep getting up, knowing that I'm about to go do something I don't want to do until it's like, okay, I messed up, you know? And that's where I would tell. That's when I came and talked to you guys. Like, you know, the only thing that I would regret about college is I didn't lift. Like, I didn't take it serious enough. Like, that's the only thing, because like I blame Chad Johnson. He is somebody that I looked up to. I promise you, he's somebody that I looked up to, and I know, I used to watch him all the time growing up, and I knew he didn't lift like that. But same way, like if you look at him now, he's lifting and he's doing stuff that he didn't do, and that's probably the only thing that I probably regret. It would be not taking it serious, but to make it happen is you gotta stack days, you gotta build no matter what you're going through. Everybody's going through something. See what I'm saying? So like, be yourself, stack days, keep going. That's what it means to make it happen. Like my back been against the wall my whole entire career. So like when I get into certain situations I get into, it's I'm in a comfortable space because I already been with my back against the wall. So what it means to make it happen to me is you gotta just get up, stack days, no matter what you're going through, be yourself, and don't be a cancer to nobody because there's a bunch of cancers out there. And just try not to be a cancer, and try not to, just try not to be a cancer to nobody because you'll run into a bunch of them. So.